Hello and welcome to Mosquitoes on Silver Lake. Hey, this is an on your own problem, so you should have solved the entire problem. Now you have your paper in front of you and you're ready to correct your work. So, without further ado, let's get on to the scenario. You live on Silver Lake. It is a beautiful lake and you love swimming in the cool waters on hot days. Unfortunately, there are 327,294. Let's write that down. We've got 327,294 of these bad mosquitoes. Oh, they're no fun at all. That are flying around your lake and attacking you when you're trying to swim. That is no good, my friend. Luckily for you, you've got a number of these bats. Now, these bats come out at night, and there are 342 of these bats right here that live near Silver Lake. If each bat eats the same amount of mosquitoes, how many mosquitoes must each bat eat in order for your lake home to be free of these blood-sucking insects? Well, first of all, we know that means we're going to take 327,294 and divide it by 342. And here we go. As you see, I've got my 3's written down, my 4's and my 2's right here. 3's, 4's, and 2's. And then I also wrote my 4's a second time because when I'm estimating, I'm going to bump this up to 400. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our area box. We'll make our first area box. I'm going to do that right here. And then I'm going to put the 327,294 right inside the box. The 342 goes on the outside of the box. Now, I am going to be rounding up to 400, so I'm going to use 400 as my estimation whenever I need to figure out how many times this number can go inside this number. All right? So let's go ahead and get started. I've got 342 that I want to figure out how many times it will go into 327,229. Well, 342 will not fit into 3, it will not fit into 32, and it will not fit into 327, so I am working with 3,272, which means I need a place value holder for these two digits here. So I'm going to put a 0 above both the 10s and the 1s place right there and there. Before I do that, I'm going to move this over here so I have a little bit more room, and then we're good to go. So I'm going to put a 0 here and a 0 here, which means I'll get a 0 here and here, because 0 times 342 will give me 0, and 0 times 342 will give me another 0. So now I'm going to estimate how many times this 342 will go into 3,272. So I'm going to use the 400. Now, since this has two zeros behind it, I'm going to imagine that each of these digits has two zeros behind it as well. So I'm going to go 400, 800, 1,200, 1,600, 2,000, 2,400, and then 2,800, and then 3,200, which is pretty darn close to what I'm looking for here. So that means I'm going to use 8 as my estimation number because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to drop an 8 right there, and bam, there we have it. Now I'm working with the real numbers here, so I'm going to go 8 times 2, which is going to bring me all the way over here to 16. I'm going to drop my 6 and carry my 1. So my 6 is going to go here, and I'm going to carry a 1 right over there. Now I'm going to go 8 times 4, which is going to give me the 32 here. And now I need to add this 1, so that's going to give me 33. So I'm going to drop a 3 right there and carry my 3 right there. So now I'm going to be going with the 8 times 3, which is going to give me the 24. But I've got to add 3 to it, so that'll give me 27. So I'm going to drop a 7 and a 2 right there, and then I'm going to subtract. Now, just like always, before I do anything else, I'm going to check for any trouble coming. I clearly have no trouble coming with either of these, but I do have trouble coming right here. So I'm going to borrow from the 7, turn that 7 into 6, and turn this 2 into 12. I have no trouble coming here, but I do have trouble coming here. So I'm going to borrow from the 3, turn that 3 into a 2, and turn this 2 into 12. And now I no longer have any trouble coming, and I have none here. So I'm good to go. I'm going to make my next area box right here, and we will do our subtraction, right? So I get 4 minus 0 will give me 4. 9 minus 0 will give me 9. 12 minus 6 is going to give me 6 right there. And then I've got 6 minus 3, which will give me a 3 right there. Next, I have 12 minus 7, which is going to give me 5 right here. And 2 minus 2 zeroes out. So now I'm going to look here and see what I can do. Now I got 342, and that can fit into 536. So I can actually get one more in here, can't I? So before I do that, I'm going to actually add another place value for both of these two digits. So I'll get a 0 for each of those. And let's go ahead and do that right there. 0 and 0, which will give me 2 zeros down here. Once again, because 0 times 342 will give me 0, and 0 times 342 will give me another 0. I know that 342 will only go in here one more time, so I'm going to plug another 1 right there and just add it to it. And then I get 342. Then I'm going to subtract. Like always, I'm going to look for any trouble coming. Clearly, I have no trouble coming here. I have no trouble here, but I do have trouble coming right here because I cannot take 3 and subtract 4. So I'm going to borrow from this 5, turn that 5 into a 4, and turn this 3 into 13. And now I am good to go because I have no trouble here and none here. So let's go ahead and make our next area box. And I'll plug that in right there. And now I get 4 minus 0 will give me 4. 9 minus 0 will give me 9. 6 minus 2 will give me 4. 13 minus 4 is going to give me 9. And 4 minus 3 will give me 1 right there. And now, once again, I'm looking at the 342. And it will not fit into 194. So now I'm working with this column here, which means I need a place value holder only for the ones column. So I'm going to come up here and put a 0 in the ones column. And then 0 times 342 will give me a 0 right here. Plug that 0 in there. And then I'm looking at 400 to estimate how many times this 342 will go into 1,949. So I'm using my 400s here. And I'm going to just shrink this, and I'm going to go 400, 800, 1,200, 1,600, and then 2,000, which is a little bit too much. So I'm going to go with the 1,600, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to plug a 4 right there. So bam, there goes my 4. And then I'm working with the real numbers, 4 times 2, which is going to give me 8. So I'll drop an 8 right there. And then 4 times 4, which is going to give me the 16 here. I went crazy, didn't I? I'm just coming to here, 16. So I'm going to drop the 6 and carry the 1. Drop the 6 here. And carry my 1 right up there. And then I've got 4 times 3, which is going to give me the 12 right there. Plus this 1 is going to give me 13. So I'm going to drop my 1 and my 3. And then I'm going to subtract. Before I do, like always, I like to check for any trouble coming. Clearly no trouble here, no trouble here. I do have trouble coming here, so I'm going to borrow from this 9, turn it into an 8, and turn this 4 into 14. And now I have no trouble here, so I am good to go. I'm going to just move this up a bit and add another area box in right here. And then I'm going to enlarge it a little bit so I can do my subtraction. 4 minus 0 is going to give me 4. 9 minus 8 is going to give me 1. 14 minus 6 is going to give me 8. And then 8 minus 3 is going to give me 5. And let's go ahead and check ourselves once again. And as you see, 342 can go into 581. It will fit in there one more time. So I need another place value holder for the ones column, right? And so I'm going to come up here. I'm going to add a 0 right here, which means 0 times 342 will give me a 0 right here. Move that up a teeny bit. And now I know that this will only go in here one time. So I'm going to add a 1 right there. And then 1 times 342 will give me 342. So 342 goes right there. And then, as always, checking for trouble a coming. I have no trouble here. I do have trouble coming here. I'm borrowing from that 8, turn it into a 7, turn the 1 into 11. And then I have no trouble here and none here. So I'm good to go. I'm going to add my next area box right here. And then I get 4 minus 0 will give me 4. And 11 minus 2 is going to give me 9. 7 minus 4 is going to give me 3. And 5 minus 3 is going to give me 2 right there. And so now I'm looking at the 342 going into, it will not fit into 239. So now I'm working with the whole number 2,394. And I'm going to use my 400 as my estimation once again. So I'm going to come up here and look at the 4s. And I've got 400, 800, 1,200, 1,600, and then 2,000, and then 2,400, which is slightly too much. So we're going to come back here to just 2,000, which means I'm multiplying by 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to plug a 5 right there in the ones column, and bam, there we have it. So then 5, I'm working with the real numbers. 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. So I'm going to drop a 0 and carry my 1 right here. And then 5 times 4 is going to give me the 20, plus 1 is going to give me 21. So I'm going to drop a 1 and carry my 2 right there. And then I got 5 times 3, which is going to give me the 15, plus 2 is going to give me 17. So I've got 17 right there. And then I'm good to subtract. As always, checking for trouble coming. And I have no trouble here. No trouble here. I do have trouble coming here, so I'm going to borrow from the 2, turn that 2 into 1 and the 3 into 13. And then I'm going to add my next area box because I'm ready to go. And here we go. And I get 4 minus 0 is going to give me 4. 9 minus 1 is going to give me 8. 13 minus 7 is going to give me 6. And then 1 minus 1 is going to give me 0. So let's go ahead and take a look here. And I got 342, which is going to fit in here again, isn't it, right? So if I use the 400, I would know that I'd get 400, then 800. So I know I'm going to only go in there one time, right? So I'm going to add another 1 right up on top here, 1 right there. And then I'm going to put that 1 in there. And 1 times 342, right, is going to give me 342. And then I'm checking for trouble coming. I have none here, and none here. So let's go ahead and make my next area box. I'm going to just shrink that up a little bit. And bam, that's going to go right there. And then 4 minus 2 is going to give me 2. 8 minus 4 is going to give me 4. And 6 minus 3 is going to give me 3. And lo and behold, you can see that that will fit in there exactly one more time, right? I can fit one more 342 right there. So I'm going to add another 1 right there, and that's going to give me 342. And when I subtract, that's going to zero out. Now, if you guessed and you knew that it would go in there 2 times, you could have put a 2 right there. That's no worries, my friend. So long as you get the correct answer at the end. Let's do that right now. All we have to do is add these up. And here we go. I'm going to draw my line, and remember, I'm adding up like this. I get all these zeros, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to drop a 7 right there, or bring a 7 up there. Then I've got these zeros. 4 plus 1 is going to give me 5 right here. And then I've got the 8 plus the 1 is going to give me 9 right there. And right there you have it, my friends. In order for your lake to be free of these blood-sucking mosquitoes, you need to have each of these bats eat 957 mosquitoes, and then you will be mosquito-free. And that would be lovely. All right, my friends. Hey, like always, if you made a mistake anywhere along the way, no worries at all. Simply pause the video, fix your mistake. That is the fastest way to learn. Until next time, I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you soon. And now, on to counting by the numbers. This is a great strategy for anybody who does not have all their multiplication facts memorized. Counting by threes. Ready? Here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Counting by fours. Ready? And 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Counting by sixes. Here we go. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. Counting by sevens. Here we go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. And counting by eights. Here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80. Counting by nines. Here we go. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90.